We're pretty confident. The information was received. With that information, we've been able to put that together. Again, this thing wasn't drawn up overnight. We've been working with this picture with the
So,
suspects that
someone tipped you that
witnesses that we have.
there was photos or picture on his phone?
Together. So it's not something that we did overnight. This has taken a while to put together.
Those witnesses, did they see them in the area? Did they call the tip line with that information?
I really can't go into that because we don't want to compromise the case itself.
What would you say witnesses, so multiple people were able to help you out with this?
There was people that were able to help us out with this, yes.
A lot of people will say you guys are releasing this now because you've run out of leads. That's not true in this case, right?
No, we're still getting anywhere from 5 to 10 tips a day. We're still getting emails, so it's not something that is just, this case is not dried up. It's not a cold case. This case is still very active.
If you didn't have those tips, we may never have seen this picture in the first place, right?
The possibility, yes.
What's the attitude of the troops working on this? I mean,
Curious.
There's a composite that's
Who are these witnesses?
infinitely clearer than the picture because looking at, I mean, what is the feeling among investigators who've been grinding away at this for 5 months?
Well, anytime you get new information, officers are always excited about that information. It kind of builds up their confidence on the case itself. With this information here, we're really, it really excites them, lets them know that, people are still caring about this case, that people are still interested. And when we can get somebody to come forward with more information, if we can get a name or at least a location of this subject, that would be great. But officers have never really gotten down on this case. I think they've frustrated maybe, but as far as solving this,
You notice they're always still getting tips in, still getting a couple of tips a day. It's still a very active case, and they say that same thing for 5 years, that they're still getting tips every day and still a very active case. In a town of 3,000, they've gotten 19,000 tips. Seems astronomical.
It's something that's we've always felt like we're going to solve this case.
It is it is astronomical. Go look at the amount of tips for other homicide cases. 19,000 tips is absurd amount of tips.
Did you guys bring somebody specific in here to talk to those witnesses to come up with the exact look of this person?
It's basically just been a combination of all the departments have come together and we put this composite together.
Now in the release, you talk about not to focus on the hat.
But here's the press conference talking about the composite.
Well, if you see the original picture down below, it appears that he's got a hat on that's got the flaps down over the kind of down over the face. We want to make sure that you focus on the picture. We want to make sure the face is what you're looking at, and not to worry about the hat. Even though that hat is not quite the same as the one in the picture, we want the facial features is what we want you to look at.
If someone did recognize this person, what should they do?
They can call they can call the tip line or they can email us.
In the release, you mentioned some exactly.
You might email them, they might not read it though.
Talk about that information you put in the release right now.
Basically, the hair color is a reddish brown. The person was not clear on the color of the eyes, but the person said it was definitely not blue. The person was very obvious that it was not blue eyes, but they did mention that they were not clear on which color it was.
So there are people out there who are sure that they saw this guy walking around that day and they helped you out. Is that fair to say? Okay.
Pretty much that's what it is, yes.
Those are the people that deceived the fucking case. Those are the people that threw fucking sand in the wound. Mr. McCain.
Those people come forward right away, or does it take a little bit of time for those people to come forward?
It's been a while. It took a little bit. People are scared, they're afraid to be recognized by the subject. So it just takes a while for these things to happen. Like I said, the picture didn't come overnight.
The fuck you mean it takes a while for things to happen? There was 2 fucking innocent girls murdered. Why would it take a while for people to come forward? Huh? That's normal.
We've been working on this for a while.
Do you think this guy is still around the Delphi area? Do you think he's in a different state?
That's what I hope this is all about.
We've heard many times that somebody out there probably knows something, and it's really driving home the point today to make sure you call, no matter how little it may be, especially if you recognize the person.
That's what we want. We want people to call in, give us information. Anybody that can give us an identification on this subject or knows where the subject might be, that would be great. We would appreciate any information we can get.
So still have that voice, now you have an even closer up picture, and you have this other. So 3 really pieces of solid evidence that you have that people can work with. So it's got to be a big development today for the community and for
That is correct. We're really excited about the information that's being put out there. The detectives and all the investigators that are involved are just basically waiting for the phone rings.
Will any more information or video be released from the cell phone that will be had that day?
I'm not gonna comment on that. I don't wanna compromise that case.
Because there is none.
Just to be clear, do you know this man's identity and you're not releasing it, or you don't know this guy's identity?
We wanna know who he is.
Okay.
Do you think someone in Carroll County, I know you said that's the point from today, but do you think somebody around this area knows who he is and will possibly call him?
We're hoping somebody knows from wherever, we don't care where it's from. We just wanna be able to find somebody that can identify the subject and give us the information on it.
Any search warrants that are gonna come now that you've released this person's picture, anything else developing after you put his picture out there today?
Well, we gotta just do the investigation at that point in time, see what happens. Anything else?